Hey everyone, so today's explainer is all about a literal real-life superpower. We're talking about how to make your audience actually feel something when you tell a story. We're jumping right into Speaking with Color 2.4 to basically crack the code on emotional storytelling. Let's get into it.
Okay, listen to this first sentence. My best friend moved away. I mean, sure, you know the fact now, but it's kind of boring, right? Now listen to this version. On her last day, we stood beside the school gate, pretending everything was normal. Then, she handed me the friendship bracelet she had worn all year. Wow. You feel that? Powerful stories don't just dump facts on us, they literally pull us right into the moment.
So, you might be wondering, where does that emotion actually come from? Well, it comes from what matters. Before you even start telling a story, you gotta figure out why that moment mattered to you. Were you absolutely terrified of failing? Were you desperate to make someone proud? Or, maybe you just felt really left out. Your audience, they don't need a boring play-by-play of your entire day. They need to know what was important to you.
Let's take this event, for example. I missed the final shot. Okay, but what does that actually mean? The real emotion usually isn't about the basketball itself, right? It's about what that miss represented. Compare that first sentence to this one. I thought I had disappointed my whole team. See, the physical event creates the story, for sure, but what that event means, that's what creates the emotion.
If you really want to make people care, you absolutely must ask, what is at risk? What does this person actually want? Just imagine a girl in a spelling competition. Okay, that's just a situation. But what if she practiced every single night just to prove to herself she wouldn't freeze up on stage? Suddenly you care. Is she going to remember the words? Giving a character a clear goal gives your listeners a real reason to invest in the outcome.
Here's a pro tip. You don't always need to explicitly name your feelings. Saying I was nervous is, well, it's a bit of a snooze. But saying, my knee bounced under the desk, that changes everything. Showing an emotion through a physical action just feels so much more believable. It lets the audience discover the emotion totally on their own.
Let's try this one out. He was disappointed. Okay, fine. Now try this. He looked at the medal table, then quietly folded his number and placed it in his pocket. Do you feel the difference there? You got to ask yourself, what did this person actually do because they felt that way? Honestly, that answer is going to be your strongest storytelling detail. And when you finally reach that big emotional climax, you have to let the important moment breathe. If you rush through it, like, I opened the letter and found out I made the team and I was really happy, the emotional power is completely destroyed by the speed. You have got to slow down.
Let's practice what we preach here. I opened the letter. At the top, in bold letters, were the words, "Welcome to the team." See how that works? A deliberate pause gives your audience the space they need to actually process what just happened. Trust me, the power of silence beats dramatic background music every single time.
Just a quick reality check here. Making people feel something does not mean you need some crazy asteroid hitting the Earth level of drama. Everyday, relatable emotions like feeling proud, nervous, left out, grateful, those are often way more powerful. Think about walking into a completely full cafeteria and someone you barely even know moves their backpack and says, "Hey, you can sit here." It hits hard because it's real. Real emotion grows from truth, not from exaggeration.
A truly strong emotional story makes the listener ask themselves, what would I do? If I just tell you, I found a wallet on the playground, I mean, that's okay. But what if I add, there was money inside and nobody had seen me pick it up? Boom, instantly you're in my shoes. Would you return it? Would you hesitate for a second? Presenting a choice drops your listeners right into the middle of the situation. Now, here is a massive trap you absolutely must avoid. Do not order your audience to feel. Saying things like, the abandoned dog was very sad, you should feel sorry for him. Ugh, that just pushes people away. Instead, try something like this. Every time footsteps passed, he wagged his tail. Then, he slowly laid down again. This version? It creates genuine empathy, totally naturally.
All right, time to put your brand new storytelling radar to the test. We're jumping right into the Think Fast challenge. Okay, which version makes you actually feel the disappointment? Option A, Lena was extremely disappointed when she lost. Or Option B, Lena smiled while the winners received their medals. Then she waited until nobody was looking before wiping her eyes.
Take a second here. Seriously, which one actually makes you feel it? Is it A or is it B?
If you guessed option B, you absolutely nailed it. Action shows emotion.
Showing an action lets your audience visually see the feeling rather than just being, hit over the head with a label. So, here's your mission of the day, the Make Me Feel Challenge. Step 1, choose a real moment when you felt something super strong. Step 2, add your goal. What did you actually want? Step 3, show an action that reveals the feeling. And Step 4, conclude your short story without ever naming the emotion directly. Go tell it to a friend. If they can guess the feeling without you naming it, your story totally worked.
Your everyday life is packed with incredibly powerful storytelling material. You just need to know how to look for it. So, I'll leave you with this. How will you turn your next ordinary moment into a story people actually want to hear? Thanks so much for hanging out and learning with me today, and keep telling those great stories.